What's good? What's good? What's good? This is RawTruth Media giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Peace and blessings, peace and love. Share this video, like this video. Let the family know that we're live. It's so important to share because the algorithm, you know how it is. You know how these games with YouTube goes. It's a game within the game, but somebody has to do it. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. Subscribe to his channel if you can. Shout out to Juju Knows Hoops. He says, yes, sir, DJ P. Yes, we keeping it P around here, keeping it player. Subscribe to his channel. Great content. Rising star in this YouTube game. We're about showing love, peace, and blessings to everyone. Tyler Murray says, saw someone say Lamelo is doing what Magic said about Lonzo. And this is nothing against Lonzo. Shout out to Lonzo. But LaMelo Ball has tied Magic Johnson. I'll repeat, LaMelo Ball has tied Magic Johnson with having 16 triple-doubles at the age of 20. Only Magic Johnson has done that. He's tied with Magic Johnson. He's clearly going to break that record this year. LaMelo Ball is going to break that record so much that it will be hard for another 20-year-old to do that. It'll be a while. People forget how young LaMelo is. He didn't come into the NBA with, at 23 or something. He got it out the mud. And the good thing about Meloverse, the way I like to call it, is LaMelo, his fan base is worldwide. And that's what makes his fan base different, is because each fan of LaMelo has their own mind. Yes, they agree that LaMelo is their favorite player, but it's like different discussions. And that's how it should be. You don't want nobody to be a monolith where everybody agree to everything, being a yes man. You want to have differences. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to my dog, Rye. He says, LaMelo and an all-star, question mark, eye emoji. Hey, it looks like he may be. Shout out to AB the Hero. AB the Hero found a clip that was leaked saying that LaMelo, like, pretty much had an introduction and it said on the ticker, first time all-star LaMelo Ball. Now, this looked legit. It didn't look fake at all. But I'm waiting to the actual announcement come out before I say anything. Sorry about that. I had to get some water. So I'm off today. Shout out to Smooth. He says, DJ, what's goody, famo? Man, it's all good. It's all good. Hit the like button. Share this video. Nick says, LeBron was holding back. Smooth says, LaMelo is a young GOAT in the making. You know what's crazy? I hate how they try to psychoanalyze a fan base. Just because you believe LaMelo is a great player, that gets on their nerves. They question your basketball knowledge. They question if you actually analyze the game. But one thing you can't question is common sense. LaMelo barely playing 35 minutes a game is not smart. Even a teenager could figure that out. Even a 10-year-old can figure that out. That's one of them. Number two, LaMelo Ball playing spot duty with his teammates is not common sense. If you ask anybody in NBA circles who has the best handles, there'll be a list with Kyrie, Steph Curry, and LaMelo will be in that top 5 list off pure handles. Tyler Murray says, He got pushed forward a year to play with his brothers. Yeah, they don't talk about that. LaMelo skipped up the grade to play with his brothers. Look at all this good that's happening. And they failed to mention it. They failed to mention it. But that's the old media way, and that's the old media game. They will never give LaMelo his true props because they despise his family. They wanted LaMelo to fail because they knew LaMelo would be the best one out of the family. So they would target him doing these parlor tricks. How many games you seen LaMelo Ball play and you see him barely get a foul call? These dudes are roughing him up. I seen one game, I think it was the Clippers or I think the Lakers. A defender literally clothesline LaMelo. Not a foul called. Shout out to the brothers. We're a family, man. Peace and love, peace and blessings to you. He said LaMelo definitely an all-star. He better be. Now, Adam Silver. I mean, this is nothing. I want you to listen very closely. And shout out to my dog Slat. Shout out to my dog Osman. Adam Silver, if you want your ratings, if you want to have your team, like if you want to have the all-star teams watched in a big stage, you got to have LaMelo Ball. That's the money maker. You trying to make money, right, NBA? Darius Garland and Van Fleet, that's not going to do it. Now, it's nothing against those brothers, but I'm saying if LaMelo's not on that list and you expect to have a full show at the All-Star game, it's not going to do it without LaMelo Ball. Now, if LaMelo didn't have the stats and the analytics to back it up, I would have understood. But again, LaMelo barely plays 31 minutes a game. And he's averaging 19, 7, and 7. Let me read some of these comments. Nick says they need LaMelo in the All-Star game for ratings. Agreed. Smooth says LaMelo, the purple goat, also known as Prince of the 704. And Charlotte Hornet fans, there is a chance to keep LaMelo Ball. The first chance is he has to make the All-Star team because you don't want him to think about his opportunity of making it and it gets squandered because of JB mismanaging him. As of now, I have Charlotte at 50-50 chance he stays. But he could go at the same time. You never know with the Ball brothers. You never know. They're all different, but one thing that's familiar and similar with all of them is that it's unpredictability. Nick says ratings are fantastic. Yeah, the All-Star ratings are not really all that. LaMelo fixes that. Rare Family says LaMelo would make the All-Star hella fun. He would. Tyler Murray says, we just got to hope they only make those people who get in and not anybody that's close. Nick says LaMelo watchability is high. It is. He's a global phenomenon. He's worldwide. You could literally go to Cambodia and they'll know what this kid is. You could go to Taiwan, they know this kid is. You could go to all the European countries, they know who LaMelo is. You can go to every single region of Africa, South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, Nigeria. No matter where or what place in that area, they know who LaMelo Ball is. It was good. Slat. He said, what's wrong with JB? These lineups, man, Ish, Book Night, LaMelo. Like, come on, man. Yeah, when they had LaMelo playing the 3 position, come on, man. So you could put your teacher's pet Ish Smith in the game. I got to be honest. James Borrego is probably one of the worst. He probably is the worst. I shouldn't even say probably because I think I'm being a little bit nice. James Borrego is literally the worst when it comes to not only roster management, but also like Come on, man. Like these horrible lineups are ruining the Hornets. They're ruining the Hornets, man. They should be at the tops of the NBA in rotations, but they're not. The number speaks for itself. I've seen games where Cody Martin, who played well at first, but ever since he came back from COVID, has been on a slump. He gave Cody Martin 40 minutes in the game, and Cody Martin only had 7 points. And he was getting scored on a lot. But since he is, let's be honest, James Borrego's teacher's pet, he gets all the minutes he wants. He gets all the minutes he wants. Osmond says, Kevin Garnett said that Lamelo is the MVP in 5 years. Kevin Garnett, hey, if Kevin Garnett could say some nice things about you, you're doing something well. You know how Kevin Garnett is. Kevin Garnett is like, he's like, he don't give, you know how Kevin Garnett is, man. He's not going to give too many compliments to the young generation at all. Read some. Nick says Lamelo is Magic Johnson, Pistol Pete. Good combination with a jump shot. Slat says Adam Silver know what Lamelo brings. He gonna make sure he gets highlighted. He better, unless you ain't gonna make that much money in the All-Star game. Osmond says, DJ, you saw the leak NBA.com that Lamelo is an All-Star. I did see it. Shout out to AB the Hero because he posted it. So shout out to that brother. Rap Guy says, how far do you believe the Hornets can make a good playoff run? They're a big man away in a coach away. With James Borrego and these bad rotations, I don't see the Hornets winning the first round unless Lamelo just goes off and JB can get out of his ignorant and egotistical self. If he could get that mindset out the way, maybe he could do something and this team can win a playoff series. Larry the Bird says Lamelo not worldwide. Lamelo is worldwide, my brother. That's why he showed. That's why I can't even, brothers and sisters, I can't even, no offense, brother, I can't even read this without laughing. How can you say LaMelo Ball's not worldwide when his new shoe that just came out, the 1 of 1, sold out the first day? Sold out. You said Yao Ming, Grant Hill, Shaq were internationally known. They were all-stars. So let me get this straight. LaMelo, who has millions upon millions of social media followers, people buying up his merch at record pace, he's not internationally known. I don't know about that, brother. You have the right to have an opinion. I just don't know about that. Now, Larry the Bird, you got to make sure you're not JB. Are you JB? Is this JB's burner account? Because only James Borrego could come up with something like that. He's been playing worldwide international basketball for years. How in the heck is he not internationally known? I mean, do I need to pull up clips of LaMelo Ball in Lithuania, cold old Lithuania, signing autographs? And it seemed like he was there for hours. Before the game, after the game, practices, always signing autographs in Lithuania. No, Slat. I'm just gonna respond to that comment. I'm gonna leave it alone, but I had to let it be known just in case any more people come up in here and say some things like that. Come on, man. We got to start using common sense. I mean, you could dislike a player, but come on, that's like saying LeBron James is not a great player. He's just a regular all-star. Again, you can hate LeBron if you want. That's your prerogative. But don't come out here making fallacies like that. I mean, if to be honest, LaMelo Ball is more popular than most of the established NBA All-Stars, the so-called superstars that we all say they are. He has more following than them. The only player that I can think of that has more following than LaMelo Ball, and I'm talking about overall, not just one social media site, is LeBron. But that's because he's been in the league for years. He's been a star for years. I'm sure there's many more, but LeBron, KD, those guys. Osmond says JB is the worst coach in the NBA in making adjustments. Ain't that the truth? If I was in JB is the type of person, if you were ever in trouble with anything and you need some ideas to get that resolved, he'd be the last person you ask questions for any advice. He'd be the last person. Like, you gonna mess my life up by asking for advice, JB. JB is the type of guy like, I can help you out. You give JB that look like, please. Ain't nobody asking for you for no advice. Rap Guy says LeBron was well known before social media. It was a frenzy. Yeah, before it was a frenzy. Can you imagine if LeBron James came out of high school in this day and age? Again, everybody has a right to a different opinion. I just had to let them know that the stats speak for themselves. And I'm not talking about points per game or any game stats. I'm talking about the data from all social media. LaMelo Ball is it. If you don't think so, you need to talk to Adam Silver. That's why the Hornets play more. The Hornets have played more television games in one season than they have been playing in almost a decade. Tell me if I'm lying. Look says this is only year 2. It is. And if you think LaMelo Ball is going to stop from here, you got another thing. I mean, you might as well just face the reality. LaMelo Ball is it. This is his time. But remember last season, I'm gonna go back, right? And make sure to hit the like button. We got 44 to almost 50 people in the chat. Had to get some water because I'm about to go in. Remember last year, and remember when Hornet fans were telling everybody and their mama that it was not about LaMelo Ball. It was about the team and the culture. Everyone who's a LaMelo fan, and you know how LaMelo fans were all individualistic. Yeah, we're a fan of LaMelo, but we all have our own viewpoints. When they said that to all the LaMelo fans and said that he got to get with the program, the number one response that I've heard from LaMelo fans was, what culture? What's this culture that you guys been talking about? Okay, the Hornets went to the playoffs and got swept in 2016 with Kimba? That's about it. There was a time they went to the playoffs when they were the Bobcats with Larry Brown. Not too many times. And then there was the early 2000s before the Charlotte Hornets left to New Orleans the first time around. So there was no culture with the Hornets. That was just them trying to psychoanalyze a situation to over-control a young player instead of letting Lamelo be himself. Instead of letting Lamelo be entwined in his NBA makeup, his NBA structure, his NBA just aura about himself. Instead of letting him being creative, a showman. This is what it's about. And you can't even name so many players. There's been a lot of players that came through the NBA. You can't even name them that has been on this achievement. Magic Johnson, LaMelo Ball, tied. Let me repeat, tied of double-doubles. Shout out to Rave Kingdom. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Slat says, if LaMelo wasn't on that team, they would still be nobodies. And shout out to the OG Coach Joe because he mentioned this. I think it was the Lakers game. Coach Joe pointed out that when Miles Bridges was playing in the, let me see, what year was it? The 2000-2001 year. Because I remember this. They were saying trade possibilities for Miles Bridges. Unfortunately, he was an afterthought. I still thought he was good. This is the year before LaMelo. They was talking about wanting to trade him to keep Malik Monk, to save cap money, all that stuff. Once LaMelo got on this team and transformed the style of play, because they used to be methodical, Miles Bridges is now being mentioned to possibly be an all-star. And he's close enough to get a big bag. This is possible with LaMelo Ball. So Shines and haters of his can talk down about his ability all they want, that he's overrated. We heard all the bull. But you can never question impact. Yes, LaMelo did save Miles Bridges' career. None against Miles Bridges because I always liked his skill set. Ever since he played at Michigan State, I always thought he had talent. But it's just when you're playing for a coach like James Borrego, who does not believe in young guys and only believe in veterans, he made it tough on Miles Bridges. He hindered his bag. It took a LaMelo Ball to help the situation out. And we're going to take a commercial break, everyone. Everyone stay on. We're taking a commercial break. Make sure to like the video and share the video. This is a commercial break. I'll be back. Today's show is brought to you by Booked and Busy Talent. Booked and Busy Talent is a full talent agency that doesn't chase deals, they create deals. Clients receive counsel from strategic management consultants who have worked at Google for former President Barack Obama and in the healthcare industry. Their cross-industry business knowledge has helped them secure groundbreaking deals for their clients, such as first-team All-SEC gymnast Darian Goburn, the undisputed queen of the four, and Jackson State University two-sport human highlight reel Malachi Wyman. What are you waiting for? Get booked and busy today by contacting them at bookedandbusytalent@gmail.com to set up a future client consultation to get your NIL deals rolling. And I'm back. Didn't take too long. Luke says Tay-Bay was a ball hog. He was, man. Hey, Devontae Graham, I'm not mad at him. He's playing on a perfect team. Devontae Graham can take every shot he wants. There's no pressure because nobody thinks not the Hornets, but the Pelicans are going anywhere. Perfect spot for Devontae Graham. I'm happy he got the bag. The situation was only worse due to JB's narcissism as a coach, taking away Lamelo's minutes and giving it to his pet projects, who he drafted later round. See, JB, here's the psychology of JB. JB wants the credit so much that he will play the players who were drafted in the second round and later rounds because he feels a sense of pride. Yeah, I developed those guys. Yeah, Cody Martin wasn't drafted. Now he's playing. I did it. I'm JB. I'm the man. That's his mindset. And that's a toxic mindset to have as a coach. Instead of having the Mark Jackson mindset, when Mark Jackson was the head coach of the Warriors, he told the whole world and didn't give a damn. He told them that, hey, I have the best shooters in NBA history. Mark Jackson said this. And the whole old media thought Mark Jackson was crazy. But it turns out that Mark Jackson was right. That's a good coach. Douglas Goldenchild says, salute to my brother DJ Ron Cut Truth, RawTruth Media. Lamelo is a beast. Killer on a court, all-star. He is an all-star. Yeah, Rap God. Mark Jackson was never a yes man. He would tell the organization how he thinks, and they were but they blackballed Mark Jackson because he had his own mind, and he wasn't soft shoe and tap dancing for those owners. That's the definition of a man right there. And that is a head coach who would have been doing, if Mark Jackson was the head coach of the Hornets, the style of play would be great. And remember, he voices his opinions. He would have been the same person that went to management and said, hey, MJ, man, I've known you since you were a player for the Chicago Bulls. You're always a competitor. We got to get a big man. We cannot compete in the Eastern Conference without a solidified big man. I'm telling you, that's what Mark Jackson would do. He will also say LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges and Book Knight are irreplaceable. Everybody else can go. We could still win. So let's trade Gordon Hayward. We'll take his cap space for now. We'll take this loss now, but in the long run, we'll have enough cap space for our young players. This is what smart coaches do. This is what coaches who have a ruling class mentality have. They do that type of stuff. JB is a yes man. JB is so comfortable in his position, he doesn't want to speak up to do what's best for his team. I couldn't be a head coach and allow my owners, my bosses, if I was an NBA coach, I couldn't allow my bosses to be cheap. You're making me look bad doing that. And I get it, MJ. He doesn't have Silicon Valley money, even though he has a lot. But still, you could make something work. Everyone in the comment section, does it really take an all-star big man to help fix these problems with the Hornets? No. Y'all know this. You could literally get Mo Bamba from Orlando, get him at a good price. Has a lot of potential. He's a lot better than Plumlee. You could get Miles Turner. You could get Sabonis. Somebody. A big man that can shoot threes, that doesn't telegraph. Like Plumlee. Plumlee and Gordon Hayward are so obvious. Plumlee and Gordon Hayward play keep away with Lamelo Ball. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Plumlee and Gordon Hayward play keep away from Lamelo Ball. That's what they do. And they think we're all stupid. We see what's going on. I don't have to be Einstein to not see the bull crap that I'm seeing on that court. You got a point guard with top-notch handles in the league. The league. And this is what you try to do with him. You may have those other Hornet fans bamboozled, but you don't have me as well as the RawTruth family bamboozled. The RawTruth family is so unique because we have our way of thinking and we never conform. We're independent. We're underground. I like that my stuff is underground because no one can tell me what to say. I don't work for no media conglomerate. I don't have people that has more than me telling me what to do. I don't have too many people building my channel up. I have brothers like Coach Joe and Aquarius who are on the side of me. They give me advice. They're the OGs. They got their own stuff. They think of ways to improve the channel. They talk about stuff besides basketball, but in life. That's why I respect them. Shout out to Dom Vitti. He said, DJ, you see JB making it through next year as the head coach. NJ looked pissed at the Charlotte Lakers game. Also, Terry been looking off lately. Yeah, Terry Rozier is looking off. If I'm MJ, make the move, man. All will be forgiven, MJ, if you make that move. The Hornets' problem, they have a lot of problems, but another problem with the Hornets, they don't look long-term at all. They look short-term, and you know as this roster, this is a one first-round exit team. This is why you don't see me celebrating no goddamn 7 seed. That's a playing game territory, and you can lose. We saw it last year. What seed did I say that you had to get into in the NBA to be like, okay, it's not as bad as this, but the 3rd seed? See, if you're a 5th seed, you had to go against the 4th seed. That's not good. 3rd seed, there's some wiggle room. The top 3 seeds are the most important seeds to get in the NBA. Shout out to Free Bricks. He says, nope, they can keep Plumlee as a backup. Just get a starter. If they are 5 games over 500 with Plumlee as a starter, this team has some legit pieces there. No, they can keep Plumlee as a backup. I'm talking about trading Gordon Hayward and everybody else. I think that will work, but I know exactly what you're talking about. The Hornets really don't have that much depth like that, so they have to keep Plumlee. But he can't be your starter. Now, I agree he's a solid backup, but he's not starter material. Kenneth McKinley, shout out to you, my brother. Peace and blessings, peace and love. He said, don't worry. I think he'll be out of here next year. Oh, yeah. MJ was pee off. You'll never see MJ that mad, man. Like, non-basketball wise, man. But, man, they had MJ walk off the court. Not off the court, but the press box. That's crazy. M717 says, facts, DJ. They're looking off Lamelo, and he's the point guard. Shaking my head. Yeah, they got to go, man. I don't want no teacher's pets on this team. Y'all know who the teacher's pets are. They ruin the flow. They slow down. They're the reason why most games Lamelo is off sometimes in the shooting because Lamelo's a rhythm player. See, Lamelo wants to play the right way. He wants to run and outrun and gun these old teams. So why in the heck are you, Charlotte Hornets, trying to slow down the pace when you have an athletic advantage? It's the dumbest crap I've seen. And that's why Lamelo on the sidelines, look at the body language. He gets frustrated with this. Because Lamelo knows what this team has, and they fail to do what's best as a team to try to win. They failed to do it because of ego. They failed to do it because James Borrego, with his my way or the highway type of mind, ruins a good thing. They failed a way to go above the 7th seed because they're too comfortable with mediocrity. This is stupid, dumb basketball. You got your franchise point guard equivalent to it, which is a quarterback. This is like having a franchise quarterback. Can you imagine, and I know this is different sports, could you imagine Zach Taylor, the coach of the Bengals, trying to handicap Joe Burrow? If Zach Taylor didn't allow Joe Burrow to be Joe Burrow, the Bengals would not have gone to the Super Bowl. I know it. You all know this. They would have never gone to the Super Bowl if they would try to diminish and try to control Joe Burrow's play. Because Joe Burrow, when he plays like sandlot football, and I love it, make nothing into something. You saw him against the Chiefs. He did whatever it took to win the game. Saw a broken play, try to scramble, try to create something out of nothing. That's Joe Burrow. Can throw on a run, catches defenses off guards with unpredictability. Shout out to William Mason. He said, facts, DJ. Shout out to DD074. Rap Guy says, Giannis as a raw prospect played with selfish teammates till management put their foot down and traded them. That is true. Look at Rap Guy's comment right there. When Giannis came into the NBA and played for the Bucks, Brandon Jennings, and shout out to him, and everybody else, they were all worried about their individual play and did not care about the development of Giannis. Once Giannis kept improving and improving, didn't complain about it, very humble, and the management finally saw his talent. They traded everybody, and built around Giannis. And they told Giannis, if we continue to build around you, we will be champions. They told Giannis this. And Giannis told them back. And I know he did. There may not be a clip of this, but I know he said this. I won't let you down. Because that's the best feeling in the world when your organization believes in you and trade away players who don't want you to get better, that want you to fail. Playing that my turn basketball, ISO ball centric basketball that doesn't result to winning. And the thing that gets on my nerves about the Hornets, at times they play so selfishly. And at the end of the game, you see that they're down by 20 or losing the game. They should look at all the Hornets losses. All the Hornets losses come from two things: bad rotations and bad ball movement. They go away from what works best. Almost all of their losses happen like that. Yes, there may be losses where it was a mismatch problem. They're going against two gigantic bigs. We get all that. But there were times where the Hornets could have won a game, but they went away what worked best. Shout out to the brother King Common Sense. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. He says, Plum done be trying to run point guard when he have Melo right there. They got to go. Now that I think about it, I was being nice saying that they should keep Plumlee as a backup. Now listening to that, watching that statement that you just posted, I agree with you. Plumlee got to go too. I don't care if he has a backup role or not. All these players could go, except, of course, Lamelo, Miles Bridges, and Book Knight. I saw a Charlotte Hornet media site had the nerve to say they should trade Book Knight. I'm telling y'all right now, they better not trade Book Knight. They better not trade him. Speaking of Book Knight would have been in the running of first team all rookie if this arrogant coach would have gave him simple minutes. He has shown, meaning Book Knight, he has shown the ability to score at will with limited minutes. And you ruin a possibly good award for this young brother because you want to start your overrated players, JB. You want to start Cody Martin, who I gave credit to on the first half of the season because he did play well. Now he's not because of COVID. I'm being fair. But when you give him 40 minutes in a game and he only has 7 points, and then you want to tell us that he's a defensive stopper, but he's getting scored on by 30-plus points and 40 points a game, that's a lame excuse. And the one thing I like about Book Knight, with his shots not falling, he doesn't give up on defense. Unlike some players, Terry Rozier, and many others. They should have never let me do this stream today. They should have never let me do this stream because I'm letting them have it. I hear it all. Y'all can't believe some of the stuff I've been hearing, man. Oh, you guys at RawTruth Media, y'all just want Lamelo to go to LA so you don't have to stay in Charlotte. No. I don't care what team Lamelo plays for. I'm still a fan of Lamelo. Let me set that straight right there. I just know what could happen. And if you watch the game when the Hornets played the Lakers in LA, not this last one, in LA, the LA fans and the media there gave that kid so much respect. He had more respect in LA than in Charlotte. I don't care what y'all had to say. And y'all know it too. Talking about it's now all about Lamelo. You go to the Charlotte Hornet. I got subscribers who go to Charlotte Hornet games. And they show me pictures of, they got Gordon Hayward, Rozier, and everybody else. And that place should have been Lamelo and Miles Bridges all over the posters. But since they don't want to make it about them, the young guys, the guys with the future, the guys that got so much potential, but they want to make it with the old guys who haven't accomplished shit. Here's where we're at. And you get mad because non-Hornet fans who have a little bit of sense and know this game of basketball and know how the NBA works. Y'all get mad because they're saying, hey, if you don't treat Lamelo right, he's not going to stay. Well, duh, that's what happens. When the Cleveland Cavaliers did not surround LeBron James with players that he wanted on his team. I remember that LeBron wanted Amari Stoudemire in a trade. Management didn't want to do it. And they had a nerve to think that LeBron was going to come back. You got to be kidding me. Oh, LaMelo's never going to leave. He's never going to leave at all. We keep JB and he's still going to stay. Really? I'll tell you right now, you keep JB, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. Light Up the Bomb says, I agree. LaMelo, Miles, pretty much all draft picks from this year are off limits. Talk to him. Talk to him. That's it. That is it. LaMelo, Miles Bridges in this year's draft picks. TJ Thor and them, they're staying. Don't give up this year. I like this year's draft picks. Everybody else can go. And the nerve of Charlotte, Rob Boone and all them talking about trading Book Night. And then here's the thing about Rob Boone. He had there was one night when LaMelo had 8 turnovers. He had the nerve to say, well, and LaMelo had 8 turnovers. Really now? So when Terry Rozier had 7 turnovers, when Gordon Hayward had 6 turnovers in one game and a costly turnover out of bounds that could have won him the game, he didn't even mention it. Didn't even mention it. But when LaMelo had 8 turnovers, he put in an article and he tweeted it out. This is the disrespect I'm talking about. And you're questioning if this kid is going to leave. Can you blame him? Now, I don't know what LaMelo's going to do. But you see a pattern. The only people that want LaMelo to stay in Charlotte, I'm going to keep it really 1,000 with y'all. The only people that want LaMelo to stay in Charlotte is because they have personal benefits of him staying in Charlotte. If LaMelo doesn't stay in Charlotte, most media companies wouldn't be anything. Let's keep it a buck. Now on RawTruth Media, no matter if LaMelo's in LA or with the Clippers, I hope not the Clippers, or Houston or any other team, New York, it's still going to be the same. That's the power of independent media. But when you're too invested with a city, you're shit out of luck. Shout out to Sweatbox, man. He said, DJ finally live when the East Coast is up. Man, I'm off today, man. I am off today, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving the energy and synergy. Y'all make sure to share this video. You know what's so funny about this live stream? I'm not going to lie. It took me a while to get my energy going. Once I took that break and played that little commercial, for some reason, I have a new surge of energy. New surge of energy. Theo3 says, trade PJ Washington, Plumlee, and Martin. Oh, yeah, got to get rid of the teacher's pets. Can't have no teacher's pets on this roster. Also, for those who are listening, I just started this. I updated channel membership. So we got the entry-level channel membership. For those who want to support the channel, you can sign up for all access for only $2.99. That means you're a part of RawTruth Media. And if we have more people sign up for the $2.99 per month membership, we could do private raw videos with me, Coach Joe, and anybody else. We'll talk about everything. The type of content that would get flagged, we can go in there and talk about what we have to talk about. So that's when we have enough people who sign up for the $2.99 membership. I just added it. And I added a couple new badges as well. We're going to do some different things on this channel. Thank you for your patience. And I got it right there. Shout out to the homie Court Vision. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. King Hummerson says they have 2 legit rising stars, LaMelo and Miles Bridges, and 2 bad veteran contracts, Terry and Gordon. How can they afford them all? That's why you got to trade them. That's why you got to do it. If they let Miles Bridges walk, there's no way they can have LaMelo sign long term. He ain't gonna sign long term when you don't re-up and sign his closest friend on the team. How's he gonna stay? Court Vision says, make moves, Mitch. Yeah, do your job, Mitch. Do your job. Doing the same thing with the Lakers. Not making good enough moves, making some good draft picks. I give Mitch that. He knows how to draft. But, man, he does not know how to make any free agent moves, no trades, no nothing. Court Vision says family. Yes, we are family, brother. We're family, all of us. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. Sweatbox says, won't happen, but if they could get Brogdon, Turner for Terry, Gordon, PJ, Booknight, now we're talking. The only problem, my brother, that's a good trade. Malcolm Brogdon is really good. The only problem is I don't want to get rid of Booknight because I believe you got to have young players. But if you get Brogdon with Turner, then it is what it is. But I want to try to have the Hornets keep Booknight. It seems like him and Lamelo. And the sad part is they barely played the same time. They barely did. So we all got to see them playing on the same team. I mean, on the same time on the court the last few games. And their energy and synergy was so impeccable, man. Like, it's like they knew what they were going to do. Lamelo assists to Booknight. Booknight assists to Lamelo. They communicate well. They root for each other. Lamelo and Booknight can become the new age tandem in the NBA, the best new age tandem, one of the best, because I know there's a lot of good tandems in the NBA. That's what the Hornets potentially have with Booknight. And I don't want them to ruin it. But I do understand what you're saying, Sweatbox. I mean, that's a good haul. I mean, Brogdon with Turner for Terry Gordon. That's some good signing there. Court Vincent says Terry, PJ, and Cody need to go. Yep. No more teachers' pets at all. That's what I refer them to. It's nothing personal. It's just what I think, man. No more teachers' pets. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Oh, you're just a Lamelo fan. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Ain't nobody try to hear that. The Hornets may need a 3-team trade because, like Si says, Pacers ain't signing Terry. They'll go with Gordon Hayward since he's from that area, but not with Terry. Right slap Mello, Booknight, Miles, athletic big. Man. Court Vision said Booknight needs to stay trade on rookie bigs to get a lot of trade out of the people. Yeah, that's a good option. King Common Sense says Hornets 3 is Kelly. Rave Kingdom says shout out to y'all. Shout out to Rave and the flight crew. I like that, the flight crew. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, my dog, man. I can honestly say, man, one of the few good people on YouTube is Flight. Like, that's the dude right there. He's a good brother, man. And when we call and talk behind closed doors, it's always about life. It's always about life. That is one good brother. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, man. Good people out there. Exchanging ideas, everything, man. And one of the things I respect about the brother, he always asks questions. And anyone who knows me, I'm willing to help anybody out as long as you reach out to me. So shout out to him. Slash says, yeah, Kelly got a home in Charlotte. Says, I wouldn't be surprised if Mitch used Kelly Oubre as trade asset. I would hate to see Kelly Oubre go because he's heating up off the bench, but if it's to get a big and get another player and to shore everything up, I'm cool with it. King Common Sense says Lamelo, Book Knight, Kelly Oubre, Miles Bridges, and if you add in, think about it, if you add in Miles Turner or Sabonis or Mo Bamba or Rashawn Holmes for the Kings, you could do a lot of stuff with it. That's a good roster. Good luck slowing that team down. That is a really good roster. Really good starting lineup. Also, Ish Smith can go too. I don't want no teacher's pets on this team. I know exactly what they're gonna tell me. But DJ, Ish Smith had 14 points the last game, but they lost. But then they lose by 20 plus points to the Clippers. I ain't trying to hear all that. Shoot. Shout out to the homie Douglas Golden Child, man. Day one supporter. Day one, man. This is a momentous day, man. Can you imagine the announcement of LaMelo Ball? The announcement of LaMelo Ball. And LaMelo Ball has been nominated for his first All-Star. Can you imagine what that would do for this young brother? In many streams, me and Coach Joe in Aquarius Law 21 have pointed out, if and when LaMelo becomes an All-Star, he will start to feel some freedom. Because this is what happens if LaMelo is an All-Star. I don't care if it's reserve or not. JB would think twice before mismanaging him. That's going to happen. There's going to be a game after the All-Star. Let's say LaMelo makes the All-Star team where JB's thinking long and hard. I need to give LaMelo less minutes. But also in the back of his mind, he's going to say to himself, if I do that, that's going to make me look bad. He's going to start second guessing himself. This is why he has to make it. It's the only way LaMelo can be freed from this mismanaging him. Because right now he doesn't have the keys. The coach doesn't want to give him the keys. He'd rather have everybody dribble the ball like they're the Harlem Globetrotters and turn over the ball without any direction. He'd rather have freaking Blumley, whatever you call him, dribble the ball up and down the court looking like a fool. This is what JB wants. Instead of putting the basketball in your point guard's hands. The Hornets are one of the teams that make simple things difficult. It shouldn't be difficult, but since they're the Hornets and this is a JB-led squad, they don't want to do it the easy way. King Common Sense says, remember he went to school his senior year in Cleveland. He did Spire. Good research right there. Spire in Cleveland, Ohio. Well, outside of it, it's Geneva, Ohio, but pretty close to it. Douglas Goldenchild said, it will be amazing, DJ. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a stream for that day. We are going to have a stream on that day. Slash says the offense barely runs through LaMelo, and he's averaging 7 assists. Wow. You see that from Slash? That's amazing right there. For you to have 7 assists. And I remember a month ago, there was a debate that I had with another follower. I said that LaMelo, yes, he's a playmaker, and he has good usage in that, but he doesn't have the keys. He's like, yeah, he does. LaMelo was the first. Somebody tried to say that LaMelo was the first scoring option. I said, no, he's not. It was Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier. and I had to show them the percentages and the usage rate. When I saw those stats, the person was quiet. See, I'm not saying stuff to make anything up. Y'all see my streams longer than most. I will show stats on NBA sites, everything, to prove a point. You think like some of these people think I want this to be true? You think I want Lamelo to not play his game? I wish I was exaggerating, but it's bad, man. It is bad. This is why Lamelo got to be an all-star. Shout out to the brother Ed Houston, channel member. Also, I have another new channel structure. I've added the basic membership of RawTruth Media for only $2.99. Support the channel. He said, I'm late, so son is putting up Magic Johnson numbers. Yep, second year. Tied Magic Johnson in double-doubles, 16 double-doubles at the age of 20. And he's going to break that. He's going to break that record because LaMelo turns 21 in fall, late August. Slat says LaMelo's the fourth option behind Terry Miles and Gordon Hayward. Yes, he is. I wish somebody would come up in here and say that LaMelo is a first option. They don't watch the games enough that they think LaMelo's a first option. Can you imagine the points and assists and rebounds LaMelo would average if he was the first option, control the pace, being the main focal point? Slat says LaMelo is a third, fourth option. Clearly. Shout out to the brother HL Kid, day one supporter, good friend as well. He says, so DJ RawTruth Media. Shout out to DJ RawTruth Media. Shout out to you too, my brother. Slash says, when they announce the reserves, I did hear February 3rd. Now, if I'm wrong, family, let me know. But I did hear February 3rd they will announce the All-Star reserves. Light Up says, Mitch has 3 guys averaging double figures he can work a deal with. He has no excuses not to make a move. Yep. Like, you got to be a dumb organization. Why would you overpay when you're drafting high? LaMelo was drafted number 3, and you're going to pay a player that's not even a need. Like, Gordon Hayward wasn't even a big need. Now, if they would have given that money to Miles Turner, I would understand. Even if you're overpaying Miles Turner impacts a major need of the Hornets where you can forgive overpaying him. But Gordon Hayward, who can't stay healthy, he's called Mr. Glass for a reason. I'm Mr. Slow, Mr. Whoa, Mr. Glass. Yeah, that guy. He's who only shows up against bad teams. Man, I was talking to Coach Joe one time on the phone. I was like, man, sometimes I wish the Hornets had the hardest schedule in the NBA all around, because that's the only times LaMelo is able to have minutes. Y'all realize that? When they play against really good teams, LaMelo's able to get minutes. When the Hornets play terrible teams, for some reason, LaMelo doesn't get his minutes. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, man, this is so frustrating to see. I get a headache every time. Every time they play a weak team, the Hornets do. I'm like, dang, man, is LaMelo going to get his minutes? That's the first thought on my mind. The Hornets got to be the most predictable team in the league. I know exactly every move they're going to do. And not just me. Sometimes Trent pointed out on the channel. Douglas do. HL be calling it out. We all call it out pretty much. Ed Houston says, wow, salute to Mr. Ball. You don't have to like it, but you must respect it. Yeah, you got to respect it, man. Shout out to the fathers. Shout out to all the fathers out there changing your kids' lives and striving to be the best. That's what it's all about. I know there's channels that diss fathers and all that stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm not in that bit. I don't care if it's a father that dislike me. I'm not going to do it. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to emasculate these brothers and just, put a bad media image on their name and don't even know them personally. So shout out to all the fathers out there. King Competitiveness says Melo is not even an option. He's a bailout option. LOL. Man, that is the harsh truth, man. That's a harsh truth. It comes to a point that LaMelo's he's not even the main guy. And when the last time you seen the player that won Rookie of the Year that in their second year in a running of being an all-star? When the last time you seen a player who is not the main focal point, even though they're accomplishing so many things? I can't remember the last time I've seen it. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I've not seen it before. But yeah, man, this is this all-star selection that should be coming out on the reserve selection. That should be coming out on the 3rd of February. It's going to be so important. It's going to mean so many things. HL kid says, I can only imagine what he would be doing if he really was given the keys to the team. Shaking my head, but you can't stop what God is planning. You can't stop God-given talent. I've seen games of LaMelo this season. It's like a freestyle what he's doing. Because JB, no matter how I criticize him, he makes plays. Don't get me wrong. He can create plays. JB's actually a smart guy in doing that. His problem is, if it's not his favorite players, he's not going to create that many plays for you. Yeah, Gordon Hayward, the rollout screens, everything, he'll do it for Gordon Hayward. He'll do it for Terry. He'll do it for Ish Smith. Shoot, he did it for Devontae Graham, and it helped him get 14 points per game last season. But for LaMelo Ball, for some reason, he's like, nah, you're going to have to create your own. He's like that with LaMelo Ball. But with everybody else, like last season, Bay, you're going to get all the minutes. You're going to get all the minutes from me. You're my guy. You're my second round pick project. I had a cousin, right, who was a big time Rocket fan. This is when the Hornets played the Rockets last year. And he's like, cuz, don't they know they got a franchise point guard in LaMelo Ball? Why are they using this backup scrub? And I said, you mean Devontae Graham? He's like, yeah. So if people who are not even Hornet fans who could point this out, that's a bad look. He said, why is your number 3 overall pick standing in the corner? That's weird. I said, bro, cuz this coach, I try to tell y'all about this coach. They're all catching on. Ed Houston says, are they holding him back by design? They don't want him to be all he can be. Now, here's the game within the game that I'm going to explain to everybody. And let me get a drink first. Let me get my water first, because I'm going to have a lot to say. Here's the game within the game between LaMelo's situation and management. There's a lot of factors. I've said this, and many others have said this. It's not just JB. JB is only an enabler. He's doing what he's told to do now. Does he really want LaMelo to always have the ball? No. But also he is being told what to do by management. That is true. And if LaMelo makes an all-star team, his asking price is high. With the salary cap going up and the player wages are going up as well, you will start seeing players making $300 million. on a max contract. That is coming. You saw a sign of that with Steph Curry. You don't have to be a Steph Curry to get that too. 3 years from now, 3 to 4 years from now, you don't have to be a Steph Curry player to get $300 million. As long as you're a great player and you're making all-stars and you got the numbers to back it up, you could be eligible for it. Now, the Hornets don't have enough to pay Lamelo. That's what they'll tell you about. They don't have enough to pay him that. If they did, I'd be surprised. They ain't making money like that. They ain't making money like Golden State or New York or those teams. Mitch knows this. JB knows this. Michael Jordan knows this. Now, they're not going to say these things in mainstream media. I understand. They work for somebody. But it's a game within a game, my brothers and sisters. This is bigger than just what JB is doing. It's bigger than what JB is doing. That's why on here, you'll see us not only critique JB, and if JB calls a good game, I've usually said, oh, he did a good job. That's usually games when Lamelo gets his minutes and they're not, playing bad lineups. But it's all about money. This is all about that money. And they can do these politics all they want, but LaMelo's getting his bag. Trust me. And I hate when teams do this. I hate when teams try to control a player's journey, control a player's destiny, because you're afraid of paying a player a huge bag. That's why it feels good not to work for somebody in the media. Man, I remember last month somebody asked me, "Hey DJ, man, you have the talent. You could definitely work for these media companies." I could, but I don't want to be a yes man. What's a good thing about what's good about a press pass if you can't control your narrative? You can't control your own. I'd rather do what I'm doing here. But I've always been that type of person. I've always been a ruling class mentality, do for self. Shout out to the great honorable Malcolm X, by the way. Shout out to my father into instilling that mindset in me. That's why it's important to have fathers around. If I didn't have my father around, I would never have this mindset at all. I would have been looking for others to help me out on everything instead of doing for self. Douglas Goldenchild says DJ Raw, Uncut Truth, always been on point about JB and Mitch and Jordan. Nothing but facts. I have, and I've had some pushback, but damn it, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not going to have people tell me what I need to say and how. I mean, they could go to other channels for that. But I'm going to speak my mind. And I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be myself. And nobody is going to police my language. Ed Houston says, salute to the moderators. Yeah, shout out to the mods. HL Kid says, Ed Houston, he was placed in Jordan's hands just to control him, basically. Yeah. It's all again. Hey, Juju, I see you in the comment section. Are you busy right now? If you're not busy, man, here's a link, man, so you could join the stream, my brother. King Common Sense says, Mitch is getting all this credit for drafting the talent they got, but 2 bad contracts that are on the books is biting them in the you-know-what. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, man. All because he drafted Lamelo Ball, which is a smart thing to do. And Book Knight and Miles, he getting credit for that. He's getting credit for things he's supposed to do. The Lamelo pick was easy. The Lamelo was supposed to be a Golden State Warrior. The reason why Lamelo was not a Golden State Warrior is because they did not like, meaning Steve Kerr did not like his father. That's the truth. And guess what? I got somebody in here that got a lot to say. Juju knows hoops. What's good, my brother?
Gangy, what's good with it, DJ?
Yeah.
You already know, man. We keeping it P around here, man. Hey, look,
Yeah.
we keeping it P, man. LaMelo Ball, All-Star. We already know that's confirmed. James Borrego, I still don't know what the hell he doing. 1 minute we play the Bucks and we actually play like the team we're supposed to play like. And then all of a sudden we start playing the Orlando Magic, we start playing Toronto Raptors, any of these garbage teams that we're better than, and it's like we lose all sense of knowing how to play basketball, DJ. And at some point, DJ Jordan got to start waking up and realizing that this team is never, ever going to be as good as it should be with James Borrego running the show. Again, last night, this man decides to throw out a rotation of Book Knight, Ish Smith, and LaMelo. And I don't mind Book Knight playing, but that rotation playing heavy minutes is not going to win games. That's why we lost that game in the fourth quarter yesterday. As soon as you put that lineup in defensively, we just go to literally a zero, man. And again, it's rotations, it's minutes distribution, it's knowing who's the guy on the floor that's supposed to be running the offense. It's a lot of things. But at the end of the day, DJ, I can say that I'm happy. You know why I'm happy, DJ?
Why's
My
that?
boy LaMelo is an all-star, man. Confirmed, man. You heard me? Stop playing with that boy Melo, man.
Yeah, I got a quote unquote allegedly, but I hope that's true. I think it's true. But yeah, LaMelo, man, he's finally gonna be free. And I was telling the family that LaMelo making an all-star frees him from being held back by this coaching staff. What I think will happen now is that with the all-star status, JB will look twice before he benches LaMelo too early. Because he's gonna think, wait a minute, if I give him low minutes, the national media perception of me as a coach is gonna look horrible. The spotlight is gonna be on him more as a coach. And they're going to question even more, why is LaMelo not getting his minutes? Why is he being a third option? Yeah, I said a third option. And Jew, you watch film on your YouTube streams. You show film of the game. What option is LaMelo? Is he the first scoring option or lower than that?
I ain't gonna lie, DJ. Especially since LaMelo has come back from COVID. Miles Bridges has been more of an option offensively. Terry Rozier obviously being featured more in the offense before Gordon Hayward. Even Oubre off the bench sometimes, DJ, is more of an offensive option, like in terms of what they're initiating the offense to go to. It looks like it's going to Oubre sometimes to score more than it's going to LaMelo. And, see, that's the thing. It's inconsistent because one game, like earlier in the season, the first game of the season, he was the number one option. Against the Indiana Pacers, he had 32, 9 assists. He was balling. Those first games where they were like 7-3, he was actually the first or second option every single game, either him or Miles Bridges. And ever since he's come back from COVID, I've noticed on a game by game basis, it always changes. One day it's Terry Rozier, one day it's Oubre, one day it's Miles Bridges. Shit. Sometimes it might be PJ Washington coming off the bench, getting more opportunities to score the basketball or be featured in the offense than LaMelo Ball. So I can't really say, but I would say from anywhere from 2 to 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well. 2 to 4 from him. It's just, it is what it is. Who does this anyway? For a player who has won Rookie of the Year, is about to be an all-star. Seems like the leak came out this year. and to be used sparingly, to not let him be him. The pace is inconsistent. Some games they're pushing the pace at a high level. Other games are slowing it down instead of using their God-given abilities to run teams out the gym. It makes no sense at
Mm,
all. Like the Clippers. The Clippers played without
mm,
PG and Kawhi, and they have a lot of older players. Why in
mm,
the hell did you not run them out the gym?
mm. And I don't know what it is about these early games, but for whatever reason, this team just plays lethargic on Sundays. Like when they play from 12 or 2, for some whatever reason, they come out very lethargic. And against the Clippers, the first half, I mean, they were playing all right. But again, it's defensively. It's like the rotations are not there, and then also the communication is not there. And then from a physicality standpoint in the paint, the Hornets are just getting pushed around, man. Like they're just defensively, they're just getting pushed around from any team in the league, even if you're the Clippers with no Paul George. And that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing. You have no consistent identity on offense, and then on the defensive end, you give up some of the most points in the league. And it's like at some point, one of those things are going to have to change if we're going to see some more consistency. And obviously, the easiest thing to change is the identity of this offense, which should be LaMelo Ball. And then defensively, you're going to have to make roster adjustments during the offseason to get that right and maybe making a coaching move. But the offensive identity standpoint is something that needs to be corrected. And, if it's not corrected in the next 2 years, bro, like I've been saying, LaMelo ain't going to be in the Hornets jersey.
You heard it there. Tarina Burr says the league could have been to sell tickets, watch him not make the All Star team. I think it's legit, man. I think if it's not
Definitely
legit,
legit.
yeah, I think it's legit, man. I should. It's too. The production was too good for it to be fake.
Right. And then another thing about that is like, okay, if we look at Andrew Wiggins, right? Andrew Wiggins is starting because the fan vote is 50%, and he was like top 5 in fan voting. The last fan vote returns on the NBA page was LaMelo at like at least top 5. So based on the fan vote leaderboard, it's only assuming that he should at least be an All-Star reserve.
Yeah, you're right on it. Shout out to Ed. He says, hit the like button, tell a friend that we're live, share this video, and subscribe to Juju Knows Hoops. Great channel, very informative, and let's get them to 1,000 subs. Also, Luke says, DJ, I still think the NBA or the Hornets made something with that COVID test after the Bucks game. After the first Bucks game, LaMelo was in the MVP combo. What a coincidence that after been added to. Let me see. The MVP the MVP combo, his minutes got short and his stats were messed with. You know what's weird about that situation? You are spot on. Shout out to the OG and Learn, by the way.
Yes, sir. Shout out Coach and Learn. And shout out Dougie Fresh and my boy Slat Slat and my boy HL Kid. Shout out, man.
Yeah, for sure. Before LaMelo was put in COVID protocol, that was the best stretch this year for LaMelo. You agree on that? Like it was everything was going smoothly for him. And
Right.
then that came out. Um, this is the thing about LaMelo's journey. It's just weird at times. It's so much adversity he has to go through. It's always something. I remember when Giannis was asking for his jersey. For some reason, the jersey disappeared or something, and just a bunch of weird crap. Um, Jill, when you watch LaMelo play, you gotta say he's probably one of the youngest, most mentally tough young players in this league.
Oh, for sure. I mean, nothing gets to this dude. This dude could be a 15-year-old, 140-pound little kid in Lithuania and shoveling snow, and nothing will get to him. He'll still, at the end of the day, be in the gym hooping, trying to get better. And, nothing gets to him. The media can talk stuff about him, even his girlfriend, right? Like people talk, oh, he's with an IG model. We don't like this and that. And at the end of the day, he don't care. He's still going to do what makes him happy. He going to do what he loves to do, and whether that's playing basketball or being with whoever, LaMelo Ball is going to be who he is. And again, for the Charlotte Hornets to be successful, for James Harden to be successful, you let LaMelo Ball be who he is. So far, they're not doing that. But mentally, this man is level 1,000.
Exactly. Slat said he only played 32 minutes in that first game, and that's crazy. The average starting minutes, the average minutes for a starting point guard, especially a franchise one, is what 35 or more minutes, if that, depending on the game. And if you talk to most Charlotte Hornet fans, in some games where people complain, quote unquote complain, I don't think it's complaining. I think it's keeping it real, saying that, well, LaMelo had 31 minutes. It's not really a big deal. They got the win. They
Mm,
don't understand that playing the wrong way is the reason why fans are pissed off.
yep.
I mean, stop. Like, these Hornet fans, not all. Shout out to the real ones who can hold a conversation that they understand. I'm trying to give y'all answers to keep LaMelo. It's really simple. You build around him. You make the team's identity around LaMelo. You push the pace. And most importantly, you get a different coach. Now, LaMelo on social media has given you the signs how he feels about this coach. I don't have to say
Mm.
it. He's giving you the signs. Juju, you think that LaMelo would stay with the Hornets if James Borrego is still with this team?
Now it depends on it, DJ. Like again, if Borrego can figure out a way to get out of that Spurs mentality of trying to handicap a player's game and not let them be who they are, then yes, he has to get kicked out like a 50-yard field goal, you know what I'm saying? For the game winner right now. You know what I'm saying? He got to get kicked out. But LaMelo and James Borrego's relationship is purely based off of how James Borrego is going to view LaMelo as a player going forward. And if James Borrego can come to the realization that LaMelo is a superstar player and he needs to be treated as such, the same way you play Miles Bridges whole first quarter and then play a 41 minutes damn near every game. You need to bring that same energy, that same mentality with LaMelo Ball, even if he's playing bad. Because again, he to me, he's the most important player on your team and on that floor. So I mean, James Borrego, if he can eventually figure out to let LaMelo Ball be who he is, I think he can stay because he does have, like I said before earlier in the season, DJ. Because remember, we kind of went back and forth with this on like a little discussion, and I was sticking up for Borrego. I'm like, bro, he's pretty good at S's and O's. He's pretty good at coaching lower level players up, and I just like his mentality. You know, he's a tough coach too as well. So he brings a couple elements that I like, but again, it's about how he's going to view LaMelo Ball going forward. Um, Depending on, and that's going to be whether the deciding factor of whether or not he's on his team.
Exactly. And if JB hypothetically, if he just figures it out, again, it's not about figuring it out. It's about want to. When he could just give in and understand that this is LaMelo's team. And I know he wants to take credit for developing players. That's why he like playing later round pick players who came from the later rounds or not drafted, like Cody Martin. Cody Martin will play 40 minutes and only have 7 points. But Book Knight couldn't even get a basic 20 minutes or 15 minutes in the game, which is a travesty in itself.
Well, wait, so DJ, am I the only one that's not really a fan of that?
What do you mean? Not a fan of what?
Like, because I see a lot of Book Night supporters come out of the shadows just because, he's been doing a couple things. But at the end of the day, right now, I just don't think, like you say, 20 minutes. I don't know. I feel like Book Night should be getting like 8, 10 minutes. Him getting 20 minutes on this roster, I don't think that's going to be a winning formula. I just don't. The way he plays, and then defensively, I mean, he's okay defensively. Don't get me wrong, but it's like he's small. I don't know about that. Like,
No, I respect your opinion. I just think even if it's not 20, if it's 12 to 15 minutes, if that, I think that
okay, that's fair.
Book Knight can have a role of being an established scorer off the bench and he could
Mm,
grow into something else. I just don't want to see Cody Martin getting 40 minutes in a game.
that's very true.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Very
Like,
true.
you up the starters minutes before you do something like that.
Right. But I don't mind Cody Martin playing a lot, and I don't
You
mind
just
him
can't.
getting. Like, to me, I think he should be getting double the minutes of Book Night. Like, if Book Night's getting 12 minutes, I feel like Cody Martin should be getting 24, 25 minutes. Because defensively, knocking down threes, he just got to work on knocking down his free throws. This man is trash at free throws. Oh, my gosh. But everything else defensively and shooting threes, he can do that. And I just think he's going to help this team win more. Jalen McDaniels, even Ish Smith. I would play Ish Smith 12 to 15 minutes before I play Book Night. It's just how you're playing Ish Smith And I give Borrego a little bit of credit, DJ, because I'm seeing a change. He's actually playing Lamelo with Ish Smith now a little bit more, and we're seeing that rotation is successful with them two. And so, if Ish Smith can play decent, I just don't see Book Knight getting any minutes on this roster, especially when playoffs come around.
That's an interesting take. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Kevin Bolding says, RawTruth Media, but they say that they just have an all-star video prepared for every potential all-star like Fred, Van Fleet, Garland, and some that happens. LaMelo is leaked out. It's not 100%. Well, that's crazy. So
Bro,
you
it's
may
100%, man. I'm telling y'all now, and if I'm wrong on this, I swear to God, I will get on camera and get somebody to punch me in my face, like give me a black eye. I swear to God, I will get on camera and let y'all see me getting punched in the face. But I'm telling you right now, it's a 99.9% chance. Just like if I go in the house and put on some hand sanitizer, that's the percent chance that LaMelo Ball is an all-star this year, bro. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like all that stuff that you're saying, bro, that's cool. But looking at the fan votes and looking at the fact that Andrew Wiggins is starting and he was top 5 in fan votes, that lets me know LaMelo Ball is going to be on that All-Star team. Confirmed, bro. Confirmed, bro.
let me read this. MTM Gammon. I respect your opinion. You say he anchors the defense through Cody Martin. That's why he gets the minutes. He doesn't really know what LaMelo does for him. Not that he is right though. This guy's not. Here's the thing about Cody Martin. Cody Martin has been on the slide lately. He has not been playing the same since the first half of the season. He doesn't need 30 to 40 minutes. Like young Jew pointed out, the perfect minutes for Cody Martin is at least 24 minutes a game, 25, 24 minutes a game off the bench. Because
Facts.
there's not that many players. I mean, they don't have that many go-to rotational players on the Hornets.
Mm. Right. And again,
I
Cody
mean,
Martin is arguably the best defender. Other than like Miles, Cody Martin is arguably the best defender. And he said Book Knight shouldn't be getting 20 minutes. I just think if you want to, especially in the playoffs, bro, when we're playing, we're either gonna be playing the Nets, the Bulls, bro. This is too treacherous. And Book Knight's decision making and his defensive weaknesses, I don't think he should be getting 20 minutes consistently. Now, next year, yes. This year, no.
and Antler says if Cody Martin's not hitting his shots, he doesn't need more minutes. That's correct. Cody Martin should be used on the rhythm of the game. If he's not defending as well, if he's not shooting threes, well, he's useless when he's not scoring and when he's not defending at a high level.
Mm.
No offense, he's just not playable that much. So if Cody Martin is having one of those great games that he had in the first half of the season, that's when you give him minutes, not 40 minutes. I would never give Cody Martin 40 minutes. The 40-minute territory is only reserved for the ballers, the mellow ball. Sometimes you know what I'm saying? The ballers, man. You gotta be the
Playing, man.
ballers to get there.
Keeping
You
it
know
P.
what I'm saying? You leave it to the peas, man. You leave it to the peas,
Hey,
man.
but I like Cody Martin. See, like that's the thing though, DJ. I think defensively he's 99 or 90% of the time defensively he's gonna bring. Like I've seen him guard Steph, I've seen him guard James Harden consistently. This dude is gonna play defense. And then the 3-point shot, he's shooting like upwards of 40% from three. So more times than not, he's gonna give you that shooting, he's gonna give you that defense. So and he's not gonna do too much with the basketball every time, like a Rozier or Oubre sometimes. Even a Book Night, he doesn't do too much. So I think Cody Martin is usually gonna get 25 minutes, bro. And I see a lot of people talking about Book Night, bro. So like, again, I like
Mm-hmm.
Book Night. This man got hella talent. This man got the handles. He can get to the rim. He's a nice finisher for his size. And then defensively, he's shown potential. I'm just saying on a consistent basis for this team to be a winning team in this Eastern Conference, bro. We're talking about an Eastern Conference with multiple teams that are very, very talented, that have high level perimeter defenders, Drew Holidays, Lonzo Balls, Alex Caruso's. And you're telling me Book Night should be getting 20 minutes on a real fourth, fifth, sixth seed that the Hornets are potentially looking like they could be 7th seed. I can't agree with that, man. And if anybody got a different point to bring up about it, I haven't seen much from Book Night to show that he should be getting 20 plus minutes.
And you know how this channel is. Everybody has a right to have an opinion, and we're not saying like Cody Martin is, can't help, But when he's really struggling, and I've seen Murray have horrible games. When he really plays bad, he plays bad. It's kind of like Terry Rozier. When Terry Rozier is not making the shot, you know he's not going to defend. Coach Ann says Book Knight plays not to mess up. The last couple of games, he wasn't aggressive because he know JB will snatch him out of the game quick. Now, that's something that no one talks about. It's that thing with JB. All the young players always looking over their shoulder, looking at JB to see if they're playing to his style of play, so they don't get snatched out and set on a bench. And that's the one thing I don't respect about JB's coaching. He's using rotation intimidation, meaning if you're a young player and if you're not playing the way that I want this team to play, that type of mindset, you're on the bench. See, the veterans don't have to worry about that. The veterans, they could do what they want. They can get all the minutes they want. It seems like the veterans can mess up in a game without getting sat on the bench long or getting chewed out by the media. That's the problem with the Hornets. They want to be the Spurs so bad, and JB has those Spurs colored glasses on that he doesn't even see the team he has right in front of him. Like MTM gets it, just like when Lamelo missed the dunk up 10, he subbed him out quick. Yeah.
Crazy.
Narcissist coaching. Now, JB, like Juju pointed out, can redeem himself. But he's got to do a lot. The Eastern Conference is no joke. This is not the LeBron James Eastern Conference years ago. This is like the Eastern Conference. This is the best the Eastern Conference has been in 20 years.
Yep.
I'm on. It's 20 years.
Bro, like, that's the thing. Okay, so, like, with that Borrego thing, right? Like, if LaMelo is an all-star and this team is a 4th or 5th seed and they win, because, again, this is their best start in franchise history in the first 50 games. They're like 28-22. They've never been this successful in the first part of the season. So if LaMelo's an all-star and this team is 5th seed, let's just say 4th seed, 5th, 4th seed, right? Like I predicted earlier in the season, I would say he deserves one more chance. But if next year LaMelo Ball isn't a purebred superstar player, putting up crazy numbers and being permitted to average at least 35 to 35 minutes or 34 to 35 minutes, I just think he needs to go. He's not the right guy.
Right. We read some more of these comments. Charisma the Gamer says Oubre deserves those minutes or bring Richard or Thor in for size. What do you think about that?
Are we talking about with Oubre? Oubre deserves those minutes or bring? You talking about over Cody Martin?
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah, for sure. Oubre should be the first man off the bench before anybody because he also has pretty good defense as well. Plus shooting the 3 ball. I mean, he's a guy that could go for 30 any type of night. So he needs to be the first man off the bench, no question about it. And then Nick Richards and Thor. I don't know about Thor, but Richards, I don't know why Nick Richards is not getting any more playing time. I was loving the way he was playing at the first start of the season, and he
Yeah, he
brought
was
that
good.
size. Right, that's what I'm saying. And he brought that size and that physicality in the paint defensively. And then even the other game before, right, when it was like the end of the game, I think it was, I forgot who it was against, but he came in at the end of the game. He had a couple shots in the post with the hook, with the little sky hooks. I'm like, damn, okay, Nick Richards, you done got a little bit better. So I don't know why he not getting no playing time, but it's Borrego. He got a thing against these rookies, man.
Man, you are not lying on that, man. Dude, JB and rookies.
The Hornets and rookies.
The Hornets are, man, it's a whole organization, to be honest. I'm tired of watching that type of basketball where like nobody should be. Look at the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards never looks behind his shoulder what the coach thinks. He just plays his game. He has a green light. That brother has the green light. He could do whatever he wants. And if you look at the record, I think the Wolves are 24-23, right? Let me check their record.
Yeah, they're
They
pretty
have a
good. They're
good
like 7th or 8th seed.
in the Western Conference.
Yep.
And I'm happy for Anthony Edwards, man. That's how you're supposed to develop your players, man. When you look at they're the 7th seed right now. There's 25-25. They're 500 in the Western Conference. I'm going to say something that's going to really tick some people off. Now, we got almost 80 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button. The Hornets are, let me see, they're 28-23 in the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. The Timberwolves are 25-25, number 7 in the Western Conference.
Mm.
While giving Anthony Edwards the keys. Everybody understands he's the man. Even Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is averaging 24 and 10 plus rebounds. D'Angelo Russell is having a good year. Their development of Anthony Edwards so far has been better than the Hornets' development. I have to be honest. LaMelo's getting everything on his own, seem like. JB
Yep.
can call great plays, but he only does it for his favorites. Film tells you that. So what do you think about what I just said about the I want to know your opinion about Anthony Edwards and then LaMelo, the comparison, the organization, who's doing a better job in showcasing their players?
Hey man, I gotta give credit where credit is due, bro. Just because LaMelo is my favorite player, I'm never gonna, shit on somebody that's playing pretty good. My bad for cursing, by the way.
Oh,
But
no, you good.
I'm never gonna talk bad on somebody that's balling, man. Anthony Edwards is that dude. He's a future
Yes, he
superstar in
is.
this league, and I mean he can do multiple things on the floor defensively. I mean he can damn near guard 1 through 4. He can shoot off the dribble. This man is one of the best dunkers in the league, and I think he's one of the most athletic players in the league. And the numbers that he's putting up as a 20-year-old player are numbers that we usually don't see. And again, it's because of what you mentioned earlier with Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell and really everybody on the team, the coach as well. They fired their coach that was really not giving Anthony Edwards minutes and brought in a different coach. And then that's when we saw last year Anthony Edwards started when he actually brought in that new coach and started increasing that minutes and he got a larger role. That's when we saw him actually start to improve. And now he's just carried that on into this season. And the difference in this season and last season is what you mentioned earlier. Everybody else is looking at him and they know he's a superstar in the making. And they know for them to be as successful as they can be, they need to play through him. And that's what the Timberwolves are doing at a higher level than the Charlotte Hornets organization right now is the pure fact that they have players buying into the fact that they drafted Anthony Edwards to be that guy. They fired that head coach that they had, brought in a new head coach, and now he's believing in Anthony Edwards, and now we're seeing that improvement, not just within Anthony Edwards, but the whole team, and it just being successful and actually being a playoff team and being relevant. So those two things are the biggest things that I'm seeing, bro. They believe in him.
Yeah, that's the difference. I'm not saying who's better or who's that, but I'm pointing out that the Timberwolves as an organization is winning the development department because that's what you're supposed to do. Even the veterans that come off the bench of the Timberwolves knows it's Anthony Edwards' team. Like Patrick Beverly. Y'all know how Patrick Beverly is. Even he knows that. The coach, credit to him, the Timberwolves coach, he let it be known that this is his team. And they all bought in. Now they're 25-25, improved their record in the Western Conference to 7th seed.
Bro, the big thing is they fired that dude. They saw that John
Right.
wasn't working out, and they saw Anthony Edwards wasn't playing as well as he should, and they said, "Nah, bro, you gotta go." And then they brought in somebody different. And I see what he said. They're not doing anything special. It's not about doing anything special. It's about doing the simple things. That's what make
Right.
organizations good organizations. You do the simple things and you do the logical things. And that's what the Hornets are not doing. If you see LaMelo Ball isn't playing at the level that he should, and you see the coaches getting in the way, you fire him. That's simple. It's not about being special, bro.
In the pros, and shout out to RawTruth Robinson.
Yeah, shout
He
out,
was
brother.
right. Yeah, the Timberwolves ain't nothing special. It's just common sense. Don't get in Anthony Edwards' way and let him cook. When you draft highly rated players, that's what you're supposed to do. They didn't overreach. The Timberwolves, as soon as they drafted Anthony Edwards, they didn't overpay for a mediocre talent who is solid. Gordon Hayward he's not a bad player. He's just not what his price range is. The Timberwolves did not waste money at all. You got Karl Anthony Towns locked. You got D'Lo locked into their contract. And then when Anthony Edwards asked for his asking price, which will be a lot, they'll be set.
Yep.
That's how you do it. It's chess, not checkers.
Yes, sir.
And the Wolves are playing chess while the Hornets are playing checkers. Don't give me, they got a better record. Man, we know the Eastern Conference is approved, but the Western Conference is still the Western Conference. The Timberwolves are 25-25, 500. If you're 500 in the Western Conference, that's impressive. I don't care what anyone says.
Facts.
That's impressive. Shout out to Walter Robinson for the $5 super chat to help grow the nation out. He said, you have to let your stars be stars. Correct. Stop getting in the way. I'm going to take you all the way back. Del Harris was the first coach of Kobe Bryant. Shout out to the Mamba. RIP to the great Kobe Bryant. Del Harris was politicking with Kobe's minutes. It took Dr. Buss in management to fire Del Harris and get a better coach in Phil Jackson to change the dynamic of that team, and it paid off. The NBA is a business. It's a man's game. It's not personal. Trying to win games. I've never seen a coach like JB who has so many sympathizers. And you know what I noticed, Ju? The people who sympathize with JB, they just don't like Lamelo. They never liked this style of play. They hate how he takes long range shots, and they always complain about it. So they're using JB as a way of, they know he tries to control his game. And they don't want Lamelo to be Lamelo. I see the game.
Yep. Hey, DJ, and look, it's very, very similar to a guy in Los Angeles, or he was in Los Angeles, and then he was in Sacramento, and now I think he's probably in China somewhere. We don't know where he at, man. We need to put up a where's Luke Walton, you know what I'm saying? Because very, very similar to how Luke Walton used to kind of pull out Lonzo and not play him in the fourth quarter at the end of games, not play him at the end of halves, not run the offense through him. You didn't know if he was playing point guard, he was playing the three, you didn't know, like, it was just a different. You didn't really know what you wanted his role to be, and it sucks that Lonzo had to leave and go to New Orleans before they actually brought in a pretty decent coach. But it's very, very similar to Luke Walton, bruh.
It is, man, and that's why he's out of a job. Shout out to Superior Truck, and peace and blessings, peace and love to you, my brother. MTM Gaming says maybe LaMelo need to hit up Rich Paul. Well, his I think he has a good team around him, LaMelo. I like the people they got around him. But Rich Paul, man, no matter what you say about him, he gets stuff done. He gets stuff done. I tell you right now, if the roles were reversed, and if JB tried to do that with Anthony Edwards, Rich Paul would have got that done. He's like, you ain't about to screw up my player.
Trust me, if Anthony Edwards was on his team, they would have traded Terry Rozier. They probably would have been fired James Borrego, and they would have been trying to play Anthony Edwards like he's Michael Jordan, like trying to run everything through him.
That is so true. They would never allow that to happen to Anthony Edwards. Walter Robinson says, ultimately, they don't like LeVar. They don't want black excellence. Well, it's not even just that. They hate alpha black energy because they fear it. No matter if you agree or disagree, it's not about agree or disagree with LeVar. It's the optics of it. They hate everything that's masculine. And LaMelo is an alpha. LaMelo is one of one. They hate the confidence. They hate the cockiness, unless you're their type of complexion. I'll say it like that. It's a double standard. Because I like Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow's dope. And I hope they do well in the Super Bowl. But when you're opposite side of the culture and you have that swag and stuff, it's appreciated.
Fact.
But when you're us and you swagged out, and you keeping everything on P, they questioning everything about LaMelo. They talking about who he's dating. Man, nobody cares about that. Let him do his thing. I tell you right now, if I was in LaMelo's shoes, I probably would have done the same thing and not even care. This is coming from a guy that, in me, who, like, I do everything on a book. I have a solid life right now. I don't have any. But when you have money, when you have fame, things change.
Yep.
The people you see change. The food you eat change. But it's all just, they just trying to nitpick this kid, man.
Facts.
I just think it's lame, man. That's why you will never see one of them little blog thing videos on my channel.
Facts.
HL Kiss says, man, DJ, that's all it is. I've never seen anybody defend a coach as much as JB gets, and not even Phil Jackson got that kind of support. Yeah. I remember watching the Lakers. This is after Shaq was traded to Miami. They criticized Phil Jackson, but that came with the territory, and he won championships. So you're not absolved of criticism if you're the head coach. Oh, DJ, stop it. You're being too tough on JB. He's doing an amazing job. Amazing where a 7 seed is a playing territory. How's that accomplishment?
Facts.
There's a reason why Juju in the beginning of the season said the Hornets need to be a top 5 seed. And Juju, just like me, we thought that LaMelo was going to be able to get more keys. Now, I knew he wasn't going to get the overall keys to the offense because this is a JB-led team.
Shoot, I ain't gonna lie, DJ. I was wrong on that. I really thought this man was gonna get this through the keys. When I saw that first game, and I was like, damn. Oh, wow. I saw them first 10 games. The first 10 games when they started off 7-3, I was like, oh my God, he's giving LaMelo the key. He's actually giving LaMelo the key. This dude's MVP, bro, MVP. And then all of a sudden, Miles Bridges, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, Oubre, and Smith. And it's like, JB, what happened, bro? But look, DJ. Wait, can you go back to Larry the Bird comment, bro? Look, nobody up here is saying that JB cannot coach, bro. I am definitely not saying that JB cannot coach, or either is DJ either, bro. All that we're saying right here is that he's not the right coach for LaMelo Ball to be the best LaMelo Ball he can be. And we can all agree that for this team to be a top team like they should, LaMelo Ball needs to be who he needs to be. So, I mean, JB is a good coach. I've said this, bro. We've agreed on this so many times, DJ. We've said it.
Wait, Jude.
Come on. We gave the man his credit.
How many times do we have to point out that JB knows how to coach X's and O's? That his problem is roster management. We've been saying that this whole time on this stream. I mean, brother, you have the right to have your opinion, but let's not act like the 7th seed is an accomplishment. Right. And you're talking about health. The Brooklyn Nets are not healthy right now. And last time I checked, they're up there in the standings. I mean, they got hit with the injury bug worse than most teams. Now, the Brooklyn Nets slide to the 6th seed of injuries. You don't see them making excuses or saying what could have. And trust me, when they get those players healthy, they're going to make a run. I'm not even worried about the Nets. But what you should be worried about is the Hornets. That you're so comfortable with this team being 28-23 and a 7th seed. I've seen this movie with the Hornets. If the Hornets keep doing this positionless basketball and not giving the keys to Lamelo, they're gonna have these sometime games. They're gonna be stuck at that 7, 8, 9 seed, playing in the playing territory.
That junk is so trash, bro. He said JB coaching the Hornets fourth place East when healthy team is not defending just what really happened. Penalties can't. What we can't do, bro. It's contest, man. It's contest, Larry the Bird. It's the reason why they were the fourth seed, man. It's not just because of JB. It was because of what he was doing. But again, the reason that they're falling off the map is because he's coaching this team a different way. That's all it is. They have the same players. They're getting better production. It's really all on JB in my opinion. The last game against the Clippers, it is no reason we should lose that game at home, and it is literally no excuses for that, other than not having the right strategy, not having the right scheme, and not getting these guys motivated to play. And those are the question marks that we have about them, bro.
If everything was so well with JB, trust me, if JB was doing the simple things right, he doesn't have to be perfect. I don't think anybody here would criticize him at all. If Lamelo was the main focal point, if they stopped playing positions basketball and Lamelo averaged 35 minutes at least, you wouldn't be seeing videos like this or streams. But we're just
Wait,
talking about how you build a team. And what you was gonna say, Jew?
wait. Bro. Larry the Bird, bro. I've seen you before in flight chat and shit and stuff like that, bro. But right now, bro, you're capping, bro. The reason they finished as the ninth seed last year was literally because JB failed as a coach. Yes, it was because of injuries, but at some point you got all your players back other than Gordon Hayward. This team was more than equipped enough to beat the Washington Wizards last year and the Indiana Pacers last year. We went in those games and
Wait,
excuse me for my language, but we shit the bed. Literally,
yeah.
we played horrible, and it was because of JB what he was doing coaching this team, bro. Like it wasn't just because of injuries. When this team plays bad, when they play on a lower level like they do against the Clippers, the Orlando Magic, the Houston Rockets, it's because James Borrego is getting out coached. Everybody is seeing this. Of course, you're gonna have the stands stick up for them because at that point, James Borrego can't be wrong. I don't know how this dude has such a huge fan base, bro. Like, I swear, bro. That got to be, hey, shout out HL Kid. That got to be JB Burner account, no cap.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Larry Bird, because I don't know if Larry Bird, the actual Larry
Oh.
Bird, would even agree to this. But Larry the Bird, brother, what was JB's win percentage before LaMelo Ball joined the team? Don't worry, I'll wait. 0.333%. So 0.333%. You're really gonna defend a coach with that record. Again, all opinions are welcome. But if you're gonna defend a coach, come on, man. Like Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle's having a bad season this year, but he's a good coach.
Mm.
He has injuries. He has players with contract disputes. He has won a championship, which a lot of coaches can't say. If you would have defended him, and if he was a coach on this team and they weren't winning, I would have understood.
He said, name the Hornets roster before LaMelo Ball. I'll wait. Bro, I mean, you can make those arguments, man. You can say they had a trash team or whatever. But let's be honest, this is basically the same team, bro. I mean, they added
Um,
Gordon Hayward. This is basically the same team other than LaMelo Ball. And I mean, like, if we're going to keep it 100, bro, like, James Borrego, the way he coaches, it hasn't changed. It hasn't gotten better. It's the same thing. It's the same cycles that we've seen for the last 2 years. So if he's showing, not even the last 2 years, really for most of these years, really, he's known to be a guy that's gonna. He's a Devontae Graham type of coach, bro. He's Cody Martin type of. He's not a guy that can coach stars, bro. We need a Mike D'Antoni.
Okay.
We need a Jason Kidd. We need somebody that can actually manage
Talk to him.
LaMelo Ball and manage these
Talk to
stars,
him.
bro. You sitting here talking about some Borrego. Again, Borrego has never, ever, ever did anything in the league as a coach. He's never did anything as a player. So what are we sitting here giving him? Why are we trying to hold his pants up, pull his pants up, bro, for him? He's a grown man. Like at some point, we can't sit here and babysit James Borrego. At some point, this team needs to be successful as they should be. Like I said,
Okay.
fourth or fifth seed or bust. I don't care. They have they have all the pieces to be that. You have LaMelo and Miles Bridges balling out. These are two 20-something-year-olds. You got Terry and Gordon Rozier, TJ Watt. It's no reason this team should not be no fourth or fifth seed, bro. 28 and 23 is not as good as this team should be, bro. And it's because of James Borrego. Point blank, period.
Y'all just heard that. Y'all just heard that heat right there from Young Jew, man. This is why you subscribe to his channel. Now, he says Mike D'Antoni has never won anything. Mike D'Antoni has went to a Western Conference Finals, something that JB has never done as a coach. Mike D'Antoni knows how to coach stars. Did you listen to Jew, what he said? We need a coach that can coach stars. Mike D'Antoni does that better than most coaches. You know how hard it is to win a championship? Man, if LaMelo never won a championship, let's say he stays with the Hornets, they never won a championship, but make the Eastern Conference Finals a lot, man, they build a statue of LaMelo Ball right now. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. If LaMelo Ball if he never wins a championship, but went to the Eastern Conference Championship with the Hornets, they'll have a freaking memorial. They'll have a statue out there. His pictures will be everywhere. And they would sing his praises if LaMelo did that. And if Mike D'Antoni was the head coach of this team. So let's not act like winning the championship is easy, because it's not.
Right.
He's a lot better. Mike D'Antoni, no matter what you say about him, he's a lot better than JB. I know you're not about to say that JB is a better coach than Mike D'Antoni. We know
exactly, bro. Thank you. And then he says, can you go back to just one more comment? He said, what has Mike D'Antoni done as a player and a coach? He's done a lot. Well, that's the thing. When comparing him to James Borrego, even compare like Luke Walton to James Borrego. Luke Walton has done more as a player and a coach than James Borrego, bro. I don't care what he had on the Warriors. He's done more as a player and a coach. D'Antoni has done more as a player as a coach. Jason Kidd has done more as a player, and I would give him more of an upper hand as a coach as well than what's the name? He got the Dallas Mavericks as what, the fourth or fifth seed in the Western Conference, man. Come on, man, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's all good. I just thought it was funny, man. You will never see me defend a coach who has never won anything, never been to a conference finals or nothing. You would never see me do that, because it's like, come on, man. This young man has so much untapped potential, and all we're saying is LaMelo just needs a coach who can coach stars. See, when you have a coach that coaches stars, you don't have to worry about, oh, this coach is going to bench me if I play my game. You see a Mike D'Antoni coach team, the offense plays freely.
Right.
They don't have to worry about being subbed out for a mediocre scrub coming off the bench. Thank you for that, Brett Law. He said, hit the Cash App if you have any means, RawTruth Media. DJ puts so much work behind the scenes. Hey, I do, man. I'm always helping out too, man. Juju, man, the conversations me and Juju have away from YouTube is so dope, man. So dope. Right. Y'all subscribe to Juju Knows Hoops, man. Y'all hear that knowledge she was speaking. That was real. Walter Robinson, correct. D'Antoni wants you to shoot in less than 10 seconds. That fits LaMelo's game correctly. again, Larry the Bird, you don't. I don't know if you're really a Hornets fan or you just don't want Lamelo to be Lamelo. But I'll say this: we're talking about what's best for Lamelo, the franchise player, not everybody else that hasn't accomplished anything on that team. Because if hypothetically, if Lamelo was drafted to a team, let's say that there was a team that had Malcolm Brogdon and Kyle Lowry on that team, we would understand why Lamelo would have barely 35 minutes. You know what I mean? Veterans who played this game could show him the ropes. But we got Terry Rozier, who was a backup six man of the Celtics. You had Gordon Hayward, who thought he was a man at Utah, left because he became obsolete and not the man, and then left Boston because he thought he was going to be the man in Boston. But Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown took over that. And then you have him going to the Hornets, and he's trying to be the man. Coach is giving him minutes, everything else, and he still is not the man. So it is what it is.
Hey, shout out to Hoodie Raw, man. He brought up the James Seneca Crane Borrego career stats at San Diego, man. Come
Uh-oh.
on, man. Shout out Hoodie
Oh,
Raw, man. Join my
man.
gang in the chat, man. That's the ether right there.
Hood Raw is speaking that true. That's all I'm gonna leave that right there. James Borrego career stats at San Diego: 15 games, 0.9 points per game, 1.1 rebounds, and 0.1 assists. Bums love bums.
That's tough.
You know what, Jew? Luke Walton has a better overall career, I have to say it, than JB as a
Yes.
player and a coach.
Oh, yes. I mean, come on, Alvin Gentry. I can name so many coaches that I really take over James Borrego. I really just think that this Popovich tree, like these Budenholzers, these Borregos, these people that come out of these Popovich trees, the NBA circles are gonna ride with them. Like Luke, we saw it with Luke Walton, bro. LeVar called out Luke Walton. You had Steve Kerr, you had Rick Carlisle, you had all these guys riding for Luke Walton. Like, man, come on, we gotta chill. Luke Walton doing this thing, this and that, and it's like Borrego is getting that same treatment, and it's for some reason it just it's to me it seems like it's from Popovich, man. It's like this man they ride for these, I don't even want to talk about, what I'm saying, the colors and
Right.
stuff like that, but it's weird, bro.
Walter Robinson, this team was nothing before LaMelo came. He should average 42 minutes per game. Scrub organization. Hey, don't tell the other people that it's impossible to average 40 minutes a game. Man, this dude's 20 years old. And I'm not even tripping on 40. LaMelo's minutes distribution has been so bad that I would get happy for 34 minutes a game. And I shouldn't. I shouldn't get excited about a measly 34 minutes a game, but the Hornets, they mess up his minutes and rotation so much. It's just the little things get you happy. Let me see. Brett Law says black coaches need way more respect. That is a fact. So many qualified black coaches. They don't get that opportunity. They don't get. Most head coaches who barely even make the playoffs go on a playing game and get destroyed by the Pacers would have been fired on the spot. Shout out to Vegas Dreams. He said LaMelo leaves, goes to the Nets. Hey, anything is possible with LaMelo. Anything is possible, man.
Nets, that's all right. I'd rather see him in a Lakers jersey. I feel like he'll be
Yeah.
I can see him being like the
Market.
best player in the league or something. Lakers
Oh
jersey.
yeah, the mark is there too. Shoot. That's something, man. Well, any last words before we roll out, man? This has been an excellent stream, man. This has been one great stream.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you for inviting me on, man. This junk was fun, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat support. Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to my boy DJ channel, man. Yes, sir. Get onto that 7K.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get it, man. And also subscribe to Juju Knows Hoops, the voice of the young, the voice of the voiceless. Juju Knows Hoops, one of the most underrated content creators in the game. And thank you for joining, man. I'm glad we chopped it up, man. And Ju, when I have time and you're doing a stream, let me know, man, so I can stop by and chop it up.
For sure, man. Coming soon. Yes, sir. We gotta top it up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Y'all hit the like button, share this video, and we're out.